Hello, how are we doing today? Another episode of Wednesday Word with Dr. Durene I. Wheeler. So forgive me, folks. Yesterday was chaotic. I had recorded the episode, was about to upload it, and went to review it, and it was only talking. I don't know what I messed up or what I may have done, but you just had audio with a black screen. So I didn't get to get it up for you yesterday, so I'm re-recording it this morning. And thank you all for your patience and for tuning in. So without further ado, let me share my screen. All right, so today, I want to welcome you to another episode of Wednesday Word. I'm getting ahead of myself. I am Dr. Durene I. Wheeler, and this space is dedicated for my reflection, how I'm experiencing the world, reframing it, and trying to understand it through my faith and spiritual convictions, lived experience. What I share here reflects my personal perspective, my spiritual convictions, and I thank you for being here. Today, I want to continue the theme of still becoming for the month of January. Over the next few episodes, I will be highlighting elder women and mother figures who covered me and modeled what it means to be a woman, a mother, a sister, a professor, a teacher, a worker, a leader, and a whole committed person. Okay. So I want to begin with my grandmother, who I feel is the root and the matriarchal figure, the strong foundation that starts out who I am. And this woman taught me resilience. She taught me persistence, strength, and feminine power. We called her Momeal and not grandma because she did not like that. Me and my siblings, that's what we called her, and sometimes my mom and my uncle called her that. But most folks just called her sister. People in the church, even her own brothers and sisters called her sister. And so I want to put out here real clear, because those of you who know me know the story of me and Mom Mill. And I'm not going to get into that in detail in here, but I am using this space to help me think about how I frame her in my memoir and how I frame our experience. So I loved Mom Mill, but I also hated her at times too. I think she probably felt the same way about me, especially when I was a shorty. One of my favorite memories is spending the weekends at my Mill's house with my baby sister. We would harass my mom until she would let us go over there, and we had the best of times. We would get into trouble sometimes, and sometimes it would just be great, smooth sailing. But the thing I love the most is every Saturday we would get up, and after cleaning the house and breakfast, we would head to the train and go down to downtown Cleveland. We would walk around, we would see the shops. And before we went home, and y'all know my greedy butt, before we went home, she would take us to Woolworths. And I would get this awesome hot dog, and they toasted the buns. And the buns were not like regular kind of buns. I found some in the store the other day. They were so good. They called brichot buns. And so they're flat on the sides. And so they would toast the buns. And then we can decorate the hot dog however we want it. And it was so good and so wonderful. And you got to understand why this is paramount with Mom Mill and why this shows how generous she could be at times. Because Mom Mill didn't believe in eating out. Okay. She was old school. She left this world. She left this world, and all throughout her time in this world, she very rarely believed in eating out. So those were some good days and good memories that I just want to ground and help you understand and share about my grandmother. So my grandmother, my meal as we called her, was like me and my mother, only 5'3". But people feared her black, white, green, purple, yellow, rainbow, rich, poor, mediocre. She demanded respect from everyone she encountered. She worked as a domestic worker, cleaning wealthy white people's houses in Shaker Heights, but she never surrendered her dignity. She understood her power and she made sure that everybody else understood her power. But she also taught us how to understand our power. Our relationship was complicated. And even though we were family and loved each other, we battled constantly until my son was born. She seemed softer, gentler, and maybe because she was older, or maybe because I was more mature. But when my son came, we had a different relationship, a more loving relationship. But she could also be cruel and she could be malicious. But she was funny and she was generous. She was a hard woman, but she was a complicated woman. And I came to understand her complexity more deeply in life when I began to investigate her past when we moved down south. I was that kind of person that I sat with my elders. I love being around my elders. I love being around people that would talk and tell me about the past and tell me about my mom and my grandmother. So through folding laundry, shelling peas, greasing folks' scalps, braiding hair, helping clean houses, I learned not only who my grandmother was, but the world that shaped her. And I often say that my grandmother taught me one of the principles of the art of war, know your enemy. Because of that, that's how I got to understand who she was. And I learned who and what shaped her and why she moved in the world the way she did. So as I'm thinking about my grandmother and as I'm thinking about these elders, and I want to connect the women in my life with biblical women, but also ancient African queens that I see embodied through their lives and who have also connected to parts of me. So I was listening to Judges 4 the other day, and it talks about Judge Deborah and Barak and how they take down Sisera, but how really Jael, this older woman, she's the one who really took the brother down. She invites him into her tent, like, oh, yeah, I'm down with you. Come on, buddy. Tells him to rest and puts, as he's resting, puts a stone peg in the brother's head. Like, that is my grandmother. She would show you all kind of hospitality, right? She could show you all kind of hospitality. You could be sugar today and sludge tomorrow, right? So while I was listening to Judges 4, I realized that my grandmother, Momeal, is Jael. She's not soft, she's not sentimental, but she's a woman shaped by danger who understands what it takes to survive and to protect those you love. So, like Jael, Momeal lived a long life. She transitioned around the age of 93 or 94, but she had saw and experienced a great deal, okay? Because she was born in, I think, 1913, y'all. So this woman, my grandmother, Momeal, taught me not to give up, taught me how not to bow down, but she also taught me how to stand my ground and how to hold on to what is honest and good and perfect. She taught me how to carry resilience, persistence, and strength in my feminine power to this day. And at the same time, I am still becoming someone who knows how to be strong without being cruel. These qualities, all of my grandmother and things about her, also remind me of the phenomenal Queen Nzinga of Angola. She was an African ruler known for the refusal to submit, but also her strategic authority and her ability to gather and collect people and move as a force that protected her community and her village and her people. And like my grandmother, Queen Nzinga was skilled in sizing up her opposition. And when I think about Momeal, I think of Queen Nzinga. I think of a woman who learned power by watching it closely and demanded respect without apology. So I invoke Queen Nzinga because she reminds me that survival often requires a sharpness and a truth in a world that punishes softness and celebrates lies. So as I close today, I hope you have women and elders who are covering you, women who have walked where you are trying to go, women who have fought battles you need to learn from, women with the scars that say, yes, you can make it. Yes, you are the right one, honey. And yes, I am here for you. So I want to thank you, Momeal, for teaching me to be resolute and purposeful. I want to thank you for teaching me how not to back down. And I want to thank you for the entertaining weekends and sleepovers and crazy stories that me and my baby sister got to share about our adventures with you. But most of all, Momeal, my beloved grandma, thank you for your baby girl, my mama Mary. So know that still becoming means discerning what we keep and what we refuse to pass on. I'll leave you with this question. Who taught you how to survive? And why, what are you still carrying differently? Thanks for joining us today. If you like it, hit the like button and share it. So be blessed. Be a blessing. All right, let's see how we finish this. Y'all know I'll be having problems with this. So be blessed and be a blessing. Have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week. Happy 2026.